Man, here we go.
Here we go.
Dude, another one.
We got Big Jimmy Mutter from Mutter's Realty. Our first podcast sitting down.
I am so excited.
I am.
And a well overdue 7 and 7.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well overdue.
Well overdue. And, it's the best thing ever. Right? So
my first one.
First one we've been talking about forever. We've
first
known
podcast. Yes.
We've known each other forever. So finally, through all of our experiences, we actually
up and down,
ups and downs.
Never down between us, but I'm saying just ups
and downs. A lot of funny stories being told. But man, so I was kind of thinking, so it's going to be kind of, me and you are like two peas in a pod. We're kind of off the cuff kind of a thing going. And so
that's what makes it all fun.
Exactly. So we talked a little bit. We had made a couple of videos. What's some of the up and downs? I mean, like dealing with how do we want to say it without getting ourselves into trouble with our staff or with anything. So but what is some like memorable moments in real estate that it's story time. So let's just call this beginning story time to warm up the audience. Story time. We got some good stories.
We do got. I mean, it's like it could go very graphic, or it could kind of stay.
Let's be moderate.
Let's be moderate. Let's be respectful.
Right. That's
and
off
stuff
the camera
like that.
Stuff we'll talk about, Jimmy.
And you guys can pay for that. That's pay-per-view stuff.
That's right.
But I think they'd want to pay to hear some stories.
Some, but that's a selective audience. So
it is, because I think everybody should have. It always drives me nuts. Going through Books A Million and you see the real estate section, and it's like make all these millions of dollars and all these fancy cars. But there's another side to that story.
Yeah.
And I think that story always needs to be told, because it's you can't make it up,
Right. So now you've sold houses.
Yes.
Personally, right?
Yes.
You've gone and showed the house. You've done the deal. Do you have a funny story that you can share that's, again, we have to keep it moderate, man.
Gotta keep it moderate.
What is one that kind of stands out to you? Because I'm going to share something within the cleaning business or personal that we'll say football helmet.
Well, I can tell you, and this one's not too graphic or anything like that. This one's actually a story my dad happened to my dad, and thank God it didn't happen to me. But my dad got a call about doing a valuation on a guy's house one time. Guy wanted a valuation on his house, and can my dad come out now? And we get those. It's like, okay. So my dad runs out there, and he's, looking at this house, and he's kind of already got semi numbers in his head, but you got to go out and look at the house to say, hey, does the house have counter or granite countertops? Does it have, certain type of stuff? So he's going room to room, kitchen to dining room. And now he's going down a hallway and goes bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3. And then he comes to the, we used to call it a master bedroom. Now they've renamed it to primary bedroom.
Okay.
And my dad goes, can I go in here? We always ask, can we go in here? And the guy goes, sure. Why don't you go on in there? My dad opens up the door, and there is someone tied to the bed.
Okay.
Which always makes things interesting.
I've heard stories, but I've never met anybody.
So my dad, being the former cop that he was,
put
the guy up against the wall, kind of like, whoa, what is this? And he's like, ma'am, are you okay? And it was a ma'am.
Oh, that's
you don't know at this day and time, so it was a ma'am. And and she says, yeah. So he was able to give the valuation, and that was just one little instance of like weird stuff that happens in the real that it is not in the textbook, Nick. That was not in any of the chapters. Like, you're going to run into some crazy stuff.
You know what's funny about that story, Jimmy? I didn't see it coming. Right? Of all the things that you could have came up with, that's the one that you hit. All right. Well,
And I mean, there's others. We've been known for, like, if people have deceased in a home and have been there for some
okay.
time, they're like, call Mutter, they'll handle it. And you're kind of like, why do we get all the dead deals?
Oh,
But we did,
and
but
the
we
deal
get
is dead.
the deal is dead. So then
No
we've
pun
got to,
intended. That's
we do a
horrible.
lot of that stuff.
Really?
So if it's crazy, off the wall, I just know our phone's going to ring. So I kind of feel like Pawn Stars. Like, you never know what's going to walk through that door.
Right,
We
right.
never know what's going to be on the other end of that phone. It's just what it is.
Wow, I never knew stuff like that, and that's probably helped happen to other real estate
Had
companies.
to have.
It has to. It can't just be
That's
all
the other side of the business that you don't get to know of, like
wow.
crazy stuff.
You never see that on $1 million listings.
No.
All right.
And that's just right here on the beautiful Space Coast.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, welcome. No. Hey,
We kept it all right. I mean,
right,
it was
right. If you're looking to buy a house here, still please come. It's okay. We're going to put out a disclaimer right now. Beautiful community.
It is a great community.
It
That's
is, really.
out of all we do anywhere from 162 deals a year to, I don't know. We go more than that. That's You may get a strange deal a year. So I mean, it's not
Right, it
all the
doesn't happen.
time. No.
It's
But
kind
it
of,
does make you
it
scratch your
does,
head.
it does make you, one thing I've learned in being in, in the cleaning business, and then we'll talk about Mike a little bit because he's our mutual friend and he's not here, so we can pick on him.
I talked to him for 37 minutes just a little bit ago.
Oh, did you?
He was on a long walk.
He was on a long
37
walk.
minutes.
Long walk. Isn't he supposed to be going up to Georgia?
He is up in Georgia. He
No.
was doing the gorge, which is, gosh, Nick, I don't know how many, so many stairs down.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, good for him because they would have to pick me up with a crane or.
well, we went right after my dad died.
Yeah.
And I got my mom. She went all the way down there. We started on my way back, and I really thought my mom was about to go see my dad.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Well, I'd be go seeing somebody probably. My bed. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, you put a whole new value on real estate for me there.
I'm sorry to put those visions in your
man,
head.
That's all right.
But there is another side to it that is just off the wall strange, but it keeps it fresh,
Yeah, I mean, similarly, so in cleaning, I mean, I can relate when doing turnovers, people moving in and out. Okay, you just have to scratch your head. I'm just saying. I've seen somebody painted the bathtub, literally painted. I didn't know if it was this bad. You walk in, nightmares. The cleaning business is not really a glam job, but however you can make good money. But we were doing an apartment up in Minnesota, and the guy was a heavy smoker. Literally, there was the white walls that are normally in just your apartment, standard white walls, right? I want to tell you, they had probably the nicotine discolored from the ceiling down, and even on the ceiling, everything was yellow. And
wow.
And it was dripping off the thermostat. It was on the stove. It was just like,
it was there.
How much did you smoke, man? But also did a lot of retail stuff. People are makes you, I said it on a little clip earlier. I was sitting out back reflecting, and I said, you know what? Common sense is like deodorant. People that need it don't use it.
That's right? Exactly right. That is well said.
Yeah. So, on a serious note, I just started this business, Monarch Business.
I'm excited for you about that, by the way. Very excited.
I think
much needed,
and it's refreshing from what I've heard. And there was a guy that I talked to down in Melbourne, and I kind of knew it because I was in certain networking groups. I'm not going to mention who they are, but as a realtor and anybody that's in business, it's leads and referrals.
Always, yes.
So we could just say leads, right?
Yes.
Crucial.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you bring in your bread and butter. That's where you're making the money. So those networking groups are basically social hours, right? I don't know
Oh,
if
yep.
there's no lead generation going on. You're just talking business and just kind of like what we did earlier, right? We
Yes.
just kind of rambled, but you're paying hundreds of dollars to attend this for what was it for? To build your business,
Yes.
to market, to get leads.
Yes.
But you're in there drinking coffee or maybe a 7-in-7. I don't
We're
know what you're
hoping.
doing, or you're playing golf. I don't know.
Yes.
This it's crazy. So that's where like why I built this is because uh, whether my heart's really for people just starting out and helping them in the community driven, and so and then larger companies and networking with them and helping them to maintain, So, but mostly putting you in front of something. So, this platform, and the more that I'm talking to people and putting it together, is like it is refreshing because now it's productivity. You're here. You're going to mentor some entrepreneur,
Yes.
right? Maybe help them get into real estate. Maybe we get them into cleaning. Maybe we get them into doing
Whatever. Roofing.
networking, roofing, pressure washing, whatever the game may be.
Yes.
But we're going to help those individuals. We're going to get them in contact. We're going to mentor them. So we're, as we said, and thanks to you that we have your office space upstairs. Where I was thinking that we're going to hold little classes
Yes.
for that, and so want to prematurely invite you up there to come and share some
Oh, we're gonna
wisdom.
be there. We're gonna be there, and I got to tell you, I'm excited for you, Nick, and not to toot your horn or anything, but this is a much needed thing, and I think business has kind of gotten away semi-ish from the relationship factor, and I think you could tell that. So to bring everybody back together like you're trying to do, and really rebuild take care of your neighbor, take care of your business that's down the street. They'll take care of you. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
We're 100% about relationships, not just business, but with our clients and personal. That this is nice. This fits us perfect.
yeah, and it fits our personalities too because we
Yes.
both like to help people, no doubt. And the other thing I was thinking, it just dawned on me today because I reached out to Spectrum
Yes.
Reach. So I'm working up a unique marketing campaign that nobody else has done. I feel, and I haven't seen it. And you've been in business just as
Long
long
time.
as I am, and you've been exposed to a lot. But let me ask you, let me get your. I'm going to pick your brain on this, Jimmy.
Let's do it. Not much there.
Well, you got
I
enough.
mean, we.
If you
If
take
I
one
get
more,
going down here, it
if you take one more sip, it'll come to you, man. I'm telling you right now, right? It will be there.
ain't.
So you
This is
so
really good, by the way. Really good.
when I love them, I love 7-in-7. It's a Minnesota thing. I like it. Bring it
I
home.
know you're
Bring it
bringing
home.
it.
But so marketing, most companies take their marketing and they do it for their company,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, that's just standard knowledge, Nick. Okay, but now my company is everybody's company. If you're going to be a member, right, of Monarch Business Connections, now this is exciting because I don't think a lot of people are putting two together yet.
Probably not. Yeah.
But here's how this is going to be laid because I'm working with Spectrum, and there's a reason why I'm doing it. It just came to me today. So when I advertise, okay, and anything that I do is going to be for our business directory. Who's on our directory? The members.
True.
True? All right. So however you come in from the $400 to the $1,200, you're going to be on that directory. Well, guess what? My motive, the reason for this is to do what? To draw business to you. So when I'm going to
True.
go market now, I'm going to develop my marketing around that directory to guess what? If you need a realtor, click on
Boom.
the filter, realty. Oh, you need a
Yeah.
realtor, but you want to sell your house? Oh, you might need a realtor. Oh, you might need a cleaning company.
Yeah. Let's get it
Oh,
ready.
guess what?
Yeah.
You might need a pressure washer.
Yes.
Oh, you need a new roof? Where are you going to go? Monarch Business Connections.
So it's all connected.
So it's all connected, a one-stop shop for businesses that might need certain services. Also, the consumer. So when I target, I'm targeting businesses to be a member, but I'm targeting the consumer to come there to look for a business that they might need a product or a service. So now my
That's good.
marketing is twofold. It's not just about me. It's not like about ABC company, right? You're just doing it. If you're a roofing company, it's just not about the roofing company. My marketing isn't just about come join Monarch Business Connections, be a member. The directory is the money, I think, is really the brainchild behind this whole thing. And the power of business to business networking,
Oh,
and that's the word of mouth.
which is
That's
always the best.
that's the guess.
Always has been.
That's right. And Hollywood's been doing it for years. Hey, I went and saw this movie, right? Well,
Yes.
I want to tell you about it because I
It's
liked
so
it.
good. Yes.
It was so good. And, well, it's the same thing here. We're going to do what Hollywood's doing. We're going to talk about Monarch Business Connections, how it's going to, like anything else, you got to work the system. And so when you're a member, all you got to do is just talk about it. You just got to talk about it. Say, hey, boom, boom, boom. We've had um, a pressure washing company that's going to Brevard uniforms. Um, so they're going to buy uniforms. They bought mats from them. So it's already starting to work.
See how that just snowballs?
Right, snowballs down. So when I'm out looking, I'm always selling our members. I'm always promoting that directory. Now, what makes us better, I think, and on that directory is that, by the way, as we know, we just started, but the directory is going to be phenomenal. It's going to either
First
have me
class.
talking about your company,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Also, that gives a nice little personal touch, but take me out of the picture. We're going to do a video of you to put a 20-second, 30-second clip on your directory why they should come to you.
Which is good.
So not only that, then it's linked to whatever you want it linked to your website,
Social, whatever.
whatever it is, right? So they can see your platform. And then, like if you're on your mobile device and you're looking it up and you're just breezing, you're out or you're on your lunch break, boom. Oh, I need them. You can call them from your cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to be, I keep hitting this and I'm sorry. Hopefully I don't. You know what I'm excited about from the member side, not even from your side, but from my side of the point. I want you to look at this. If that person calls and let's say they're calling your pressure washer guy or your house cleaner guy or your roofer or however, they're like, I'm thinking about putting my house on the market and I notice that you're within this network. Who are you listening with? Mutter. Well, we do a lot of their stuff. They will know because we all work together. Hey, I know Jimmy likes the driveway pressure washed.
Yeah.
You form those relationships, and I think it's kind of cool because you get to know one another of like, hey, this person likes this particular thing done, and that's something the customer don't even realize is happening to them.
Yeah.
That we're all setting up each other.
And we're taking care of that client.
Yes, better than it ever could be.
Right. They don't even realize behind the scenes what's really going on.
So that's
the inner
what
circle.
I like.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. You made a comment in one of your earlier videos about forming a relationship before you even know that you need them. And I think you said it in quote, I might say it wrong, but you said, if I get to know you and we develop a relationship, odds are that I'm going to use you.
Yes.
And so,
because I'm comfortable with you.
Right. And even if you're in that sweet spot, right? So, like Direct Metal Roofing, for an example, they came out, gave me a quote for my roof. I had 3 or 4 other quotes.
Yes.
And so
Carlos is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I love Carlos. Carlos. Little plug.
Carlos.
Couldn't even time that better, right? But yeah, man. Little shout out to Direct Metal there.
He'll love that. He'll love that.
I know, right? And Yeah, we'll talk. I love Carlos.
We
And
got to have him out here.
oh, we're going to. We're going
Yeah,
to. We're
that would
gonna.
be he would be fun. He's
Yeah,
always fun.
he is always fun. But you made that comment. So Direct Metal came and gave me a quote, and tell me if I'm wrong. Even if you like somebody, even if they're a tad bit higher, just a tad bit, and they're reasonable, they're in that ballpark. I will tell you, for me, I don't know about you, but for me, 9 out of 10 times, I'm gonna go with that person that I like, even if they're there.
It's comfortability.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. I have a hard time if because I had an electrician come out to do some stuff. Me and the electrician guy that came out to bid what I wanted the work done, we hit it off. It wasn't even more. No, we sat out here and we talked about. We sat right here at the bar, just talking about the electrical. We sat and had a personal conversation, and I didn't even think about price, but that's where I get excited, and I'm like, "Yeah, you already got the job, man."
Yeah.
You know,
And
however,
you trust this guy. He's in your house.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, and I even asked him, Are you the guy that's going to come do the work?" He
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, I'll probably be the one." Well, all right, man. Make sure
Even
they send
better.
you, right? And so,
Yes.
like, we had a plumbing company a couple years back. Man, I'll feed you if
Yes.
you're working hard around here, and it's a long project. We had some
Yes.
plumbing. Look at, man. You
No
go
worries.
pizza, chicken wings. What do you want, man? We're gonna your
Yes.
family. And so I've always valued that, and I think that's what's got me so excited, man. If they could drink, which they can't, okay,
They got to be
but
21, right?
at 21 and off the clock and in your own car, and it's at your own
That's
risk.
what makes this so good. Is this is after hours, five
Right,
o'clock somewhere.
5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, in Minnesota, that 5 o'clock started at 9 a.m. I'm just kidding. For all you Midwest people up there.
Oh, they'll love that.
Yeah, don't you know? You betcha. But anyways,
It's all good, but
yeah,
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this. It's something we were kind of looking into, every January. Well, I think it probably starts before January. You get looking at, all right, what are we going to advertise in this year? Where are we going to put our money in this year? And we love to do charity work. We love that. Um, not that you're going to get anything back from it, but it's like, hey, I'd rather drive by something and be like, yeah, they did get their fence put up. It just kind of like,
yeah.
rather than a newspaper ad, and you're like, I don't know if that does anything.
Well,
I'm excited about
let me
this.
ask you a question, because something I was thinking about, and you just sparked it back up in my old brain, So I was thinking about how I mentioned earlier about marketing, right? I'm toying around with it where we can get, like in Brevard County. I don't know where else you go, but if you go up to, you can
We
go.
in all of Central Florida. Heck, we've
Okay,
gone into Ocala sometimes, and I mean, well, Rachel's was selling a house in Jacksonville today,
okay.
so it's like we cover the
Well,
state.
this community is going to grow, right? So
Yes.
we're going to focus right now the blueprint in the beginning to set it up, and once we get the blueprint, I do want to expand in other communities and help them grow. So wherever I grow, which makes my thought process even more enticing. So you mentioned about throwing your money into something. Where are you going to spend some money? Well, obviously it's in marketing, true.
Yeah, always has
Okay.
to be in some way.
So here's what I was thinking. If we have another meeting, we set up a meeting, and we get some community leaders together. Let's help me to help you put the pieces together and combine our marketing budget by a monthly thing as we go. Like Spectrum has all these pop-up ads and all this stuff.
Oh yes.
And as I talked, as it grows, then we can go to commercials.
Yes.
And so we
It's a great
call it
idea.
like a sponsorship for NASCAR. We
Yes.
are going to be the NASCAR of the business world, and we're going to have our names plastered
And
on
we're
it.
going to launch it right here on the
And
Space
we're going to
Base.
launch it right here, right now. Biggins Bar Story Time. So a little backstories. And we got some, as friends, you got some funny stories. So let's get a little backstory about you. And I don't really don't, honestly, Jimmy, I really don't know. You know a ton about me.
I love your backstories. I love so many of them, and those are definitely the pay-per-view the
Yeah.
stuff. But
Well,
it's
some of them are safe.
some
Some
are
are
safe.
safe again.
our backstory on like how we started and how I got into the business, and my
Who is
dad.
Jimmy Mutter?
Yeah, who is Jimmy?
Who is Jimmy
Everybody
Mutter?
always asks that. Everybody knows who Bobby Mutter was, but they never knew who Jimmy Mutter was. But my father actually started this business, oh gosh, 20 something years ago now. And he got into real estate business. My grandfather had a barbershop on Merritt Island in the Home Depot Plaza. Had it
Really?
there for 40 something years. Long time. Well, he was cutting hair, had an aneurysm, fell down. Thought he was going to die. He did not die, but it really affected him. You know, he couldn't
Yeah.
work quite it. So my dad was he was a police commander at the time. Well, he got into real estate because he figured he could work it after hours and on weekends. And he did. He got in there, and when he would sell a house, he would send them the commission, and they live off the commission, which was a neat thing. And then all of a sudden, his business started picking up. Just got busy. It got to a point where, you know, time at the police department and being a realtor was starting to habits like bulleting both ways. About that time, I was coming out of high school, and he sent me to real estate school when I was still in high school. Couldn't take the test till I actually graduated high school, but I did that. So I'm a bad test taker. I'm going to just tell you guys that. It took me several times. But anyways, after I graduated high school, I was working at my mom's pet store selling dog food. And he's like, well,
Okay.
you need to come do this. And I was like, I'm very happy selling dog food. Nick,
Yeah.
I could do the simplest job and be happy. I don't need nothing glamorous. So I went and I started working with my father, doing signs and everything like that. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It took me several times to pass the test so I could actually sell real estate because I'm not a test taker, never will be.
Yeah, I'm with
And
you.
I just slowly worked myself into the business. And then '08 hit, which almost sank everybody. And we got familiar with every aspect of the real estate business. If it was rentals, it was property management, it was commercial, it was whatever.
Yeah.
We had to here on the Space Coast. We were selling homes for $16,000 and $18,000. You got to sell a lot of those homes to make a living.
Oh, absolutely.
So we got familiar with everything. So speed up, 2018 or probably 16. Another big broker here in town passed away, and very good broker. And I watched in that business that here in the state of Florida, if there's no broker, then all the business has to stop. Well, I noticed that broker was the same age as my father. So I was like, boo, this is a big light on for me that I better go get my broker's license in case something happens. Heaven forbid, with my father.
Oh, good point.
And so, anyways, I went and got my broker's license. Took several times to pass the test again. Yeah. I got a good, pretty consistent.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. So what you're really telling me, Jimmy, is that you can't take tests.
I can't take tests.
I got you.
You asked me a question, but try to trick me in a word question. I was like, I don't know.
Multiple choice? Can't do it.
Can't do it.
None above.
Can't do it. So I passed it, and in 2018, my father did pass away, and I miss him so much. And so then I was able to slide over to the broker role, which changed my whole life and changed everything from selling and doing everything to more people coaching.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely love. I love watching people's business take off. I love that more than anything.
Yeah. And being a
that's
broker,
where we are today.
I think that's really beneficial because all your agents are independents.
They are independent
Pretty
brokers,
much, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And we've had some that have been with us 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not a big turnover company.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed for that.
It's nice.
Yes.
So, yeah, man. And I know that you had to put together in a hurry a learning curve.
It was tough.
It's a tough thing, and I think.
But I learned best that way too.
Yeah, I do too. I like
just thrown to the fire.
I'm a big learner. I'm a horrible test taker too. I'm a horrible speller. Thank God for AI.
Yes.
By the way. Okay. And except I will tell you this: when you voice text, double check it. Just saying
don't press send. Don't press send.
I've done it numerous times. To all my friends and the people that I text, I apologize. I'll get better, but I'm old. Age could be sitting in.
It's okay.
That's why you have 7 and 7s.
That's it.
Right. So, but yeah. Well, that's interesting.
That's an
Because I
interesting,
came
and
in,
that's a Reader's Digest version. You know, there's
my
many other little avenues from there, but that's kind of where we are today. And I would tell you that I'm thankful for the journey. I don't I don't think if I went from this to that, I'd be happy. I think you got to be happy with the down lows more than you should be happy with the uppers. You learn so much in the down lows.
well, you didn't give up. It's called endurance,
Yes,
right? So you don't even know what you did, but you keep plugging at it and you learn as you go. And I think
and the
I'm,
Bible helped me with a lot of that too.
well, now you're talking my language too.
That is your foundation.
There's a lot of good principles,
Yes,
right? So the Bible does give you a good foundation. I did a clip on integrity. And so people know, they hear the word integrity, okay, but I don't think they really get it, what it means. So I did a thing and it didn't turn out because my tech guy over here told me that, oh, your camera on your phone is horrible and it's Android. You need to get an Apple.
you're just honest with him, though.
Yeah, he's being honest with me. So, oh,
Honesty's
maybe you
always
should just
suck.
do it from your iPad. Okay. Well, anyways, I did a really nice video. I thought it was awesome, but now I can't reword. I never say the same thing twice, right?
Sure.
But the idea is when coming to brand.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Branding. Well, if you have a product or service, okay, you're making cups or whatever it is, real estate,
Whatever.
cleaning, business,
Cutting grass. Whatever.
whatever it is you need to brand yourself, which is important. Okay, so I make the best stainless steel cups for your, like Yeti.
Yes.
Not to give them a shout out, but I am shout out. But anyways, they're a well named brand, right? For branding. Why? Is because their ice cubes can stay in their glass for 4 days.
Seems
Something
like
really,
yes.
you know. You know how many sevens and sevens you could have? You could drink for 3 days and use the same ice cubes. Their coolers are phenomenal. But
It's like
however,
meal prep, but with seven
that's
and
right,
sevens.
right, or Kool-Aid. But anyways, they branded themselves. Behind the brand is an individual. And if that individual does not have good standards or good integrity, they're not integrity to keep, yes, they'll make money. They can make a lot of money, but it's short-lived.
Correct.
And that's not what's important. And that's what we stand for.
Yes.
Is the Creator made that Bible for how people should act and treat others.
Correct.
In respect and
deal with situations.
And deal right. I have like 3 basic, and I'm not promoting the religion, but I'd like to
But
tell
this is
people.
for you. Yeah, this is you.
This is what's helped me retain clients is fundamental principles, and where I learned them. We all have a sense of right and wrong and how to treat people. Our association plays a big factor. We can be misguided. We can do stuff, but long story short, 3 main, at least 3 good, 4. Now I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'll probably come up with 30, but I'm a good student of the Bible. One is James 1:19. It says, "Quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger." So we have to think of that when you're in business, right? Quick to listen. Well, what does that mean? Well, you got to think about it. I'm not going to tell you. Not going to tell you. You think about it. Okay. Well, Proverbs 22:3, I believe it is the shrewd one sees the danger, conceals himself, but the inexperienced one runs right in there and faces the consequences. Well, a question would be is what does it mean to be shrewd? Not going to tell you? Google it. Okay. Think about it and then ask yourself what's the danger. It opens up your doors to all kinds of scenarios, both of those two, and they tie together. Quick to listen. What's the danger? Shrewd is the key word. In danger, what are you going to get yourself into? How are you going to handle in your communications between you and your wife, you and your kids, you and your clients, your customers?
Yes.
Now, however, there are some that you deal with that you got to bypass a couple. And you got to make it short and sweet and bow out gracefully and be tactful and reasonable. And
yes.
And that's them. I always sit there and say, man, don't get stuck in stupid.
That's okay. Oh gosh.
And then The other one is Ecclesiastes 7:9. Don't be quick to take offense, because it lodges in the bosom of fools.
It's true.
So
Very true.
if you're quick to take offense, right, and you are setting yourself up for danger,
It is true.
right? So you have to sit there. And I learned this, another key aspect. All right, this is how I've processed and how I've been a better person for it. Is a question, right? Question and motive. So go back to quick to listen. Okay, I'm gonna. So you have somebody poses a question to you, and on the surface, it doesn't seem like no big deal, but you don't really know them or you don't know the background. But sometimes the motive could be wrong,
It is true.
and so it's like an iceberg. If you think of an iceberg, you see a portion of the iceberg on top.
Yeah.
The mass of that iceberg is under the bottom, and that's the motive.
It's true.
So,
Very, very true.
an illustration, an example, and again, this is from God's word. This is not any particular religion. I want to make it clear. But just to get people to thinking how practical the battle is. Genesis 3:1-5, when Satan came down and said, "Hey, is it true that you couldn't eat from all the trees of the garden?" Did God really say that? Right? And if you didn't catch it, if you weren't listening to what he said, right? Now get it. So you read this passage, right? Read it.
At the very beginning.
People will read it. Okay, whether you're reading the Bible, you're reading a contract, whether you're reading it, some of you don't still understand, but listen.
Skimming right by.
Right. But now think about it. Eve says, "Hey, we can eat from the trees, we just can't eat from that one." So what does he do? He comes back and says, "Hey, well, you won't die." God was very clear, right? So this is where it gets fuzzy now, right? This is to set that doubt. Motive. Think motive.
What's the worst thing that could happen? I could think in today's how people would talk today.
Right. So, anyways,
it's really good over there.
Right. It's really good. It's to draw you away because they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to better yourself.
Yes.
And so that opens up a whole door. But when you sit and think of, why are they asking me a question? You know, why are they doing this? So you really just got to slow your roll, stop and think. That goes back to the word shrewd. What does it mean to be shrewd? It means to use sharp judgment. I told you. I had to tell you, but look it up to see if I'm wrong. So you have to be trained to sit there and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Well, why do you ask? You know?
Yeah.
So those are helpful things that
people will tell on themselves.
They will. Eventually they will. Right? And sometimes various backgrounds. If you grew up, little backstory here, man. I grew up. My wife's in the house, so there won't be no add in on this one. Is she in the house? Yeah. All right, just checking.
Yeah, I don't see her.
I don't see her. I got to be careful. But my bringing up was I was not a really good, perfect child. I was out there.
Happens to the best of us.
It was, but it molded me to the man I am today, and I don't regret one lick of it. But
you can't.
I learned from it and saw there how to do things right. And what I did is, I've always said this: is for everything negative, there's a positive side of things.
There always is.
There always is, and sometimes you really got to look. But then
I take every situation that way. Everything bad, I say, all right, what's the plus side of this?
Yeah,
so and it helps me.
What can you learn? My wife had said, we talked about it today. She says, she don't remember saying it, but I think she did. She said, I said, you remember you used to tell me everything with you is a lesson. Well, yeah, life is a lesson. And so when you want to better yourself, you have to stop and think and reflect and meditate.
Yes.
And so same thing with business, right? So we're thinking application here. So you might not even been in business, but you're doing things that can relate to business. And again, how do you treat others? The golden rule.
Yeah.
Would you treat yourself bad?
No.
Why in the world are you going to treat the next person bad?
That's exactly right.
So, I've so I
Very
grew
true.
up there and basically really um, made things better for myself by conforming. The Bible talks about stripping the old personality and putting the new one on, and that's conforming to God's standards. And again, I'm not promoting a particular religious group, but it's helpful, and so the success comes.
Well, I could tell you that when I sit down with any new agent, Nick, not to cut you off there,
Yeah,
by when some people are like, "Hey, Jimmy, how do I get my life going? How do I get my business going?" I try to start there. Like, what are you guys doing? What are you not saying do you go to church, but do what are you guys doing as a family? Because your family, and to me, it's that and your faith and your and is pretty much your foundation. And it's like you can't build any house without a good foundation. And to
exactly.
me, it's like that is square one. If you could solidify your home base and what you're doing there, you will succeed every time. But people will always try to put business over faith over family, and that's not the order. And it's God first. I'm sorry,
No, you're right
but
on.
it's God first.
Yeah,
And if you put Him first in everything you do, um, you better just hang on for the ride.
yeah,
You're gonna have a lot of trouble, but you're gonna have a lot of good.
yeah. It's funny you say that because right, and it's interesting because it sets you apart um, from your peers,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Because they're
you
looking for the quick fix.
they're looking always, and that's where this world is coming to. It's that quick
Quick
fix.
fix, quick high,
It's
quick this, quick whatever.
what we like to call meism.
Yes,
It's a lot of
and it's a
meism.
bad disease.
It is. It's contagious, and so I made a comment on my very first video that's on my
I like
homepage.
that meism.
Like
I
if
could probably spell
yeah, me is M.
that.
I spelled it for
I
you,
like
but
it. I can spell that one.
I'm a horrible speller. But it is. It's so true. So you take you. The world is designed to disrupt family unity,
Yes, that's the
and
devil's job.
so at the end of the day is that it's not to bring well society the way the everything is plundering down. Uh, Families are having to work 2, 3 jobs to make ends meet.
Yes,
But uh, what's interesting about that is you got to know your boundaries and your priorities, and you have to make time. You have to buy out that time. So if I had any um, important thing to say to people, and it's something there is prioritize the important things in life,
yes.
right? And so um, I'm a very studious
That's why I
study.
love this because we're back to people.
Yeah, you're back to people, and that's what it's about for me. And I made a comment on the website is that, and I just made it again today, and I'll say it, and I'm not looking to bring in every business in Brevard County or in the world. You're going to have some good principles and practices, and if you don't, because I'm not looking out for myself, I'm looking out for my members. I'm looking out for their future customers
Correct.
and who you're being there. So at the end of the day, um, if a business is practicing, that one bad apple
Oh, buddy.
spoils the bunch, right? So they're out, and because we're going to grow this as a family,
And the right way.
right? And so there's a lot of great companies out there. They get it. They want to help people, and
Have the
that's what
same
we
type
need to do.
beliefs, you know?
You're right. Yeah. And so
Morals and beliefs.
good fundamentals, and that's integrity.
Yes.
So when you look up integrity, and sometimes you're going to have to eat it in the shorts, and you don't need to make financial gain. And that's not what it's about. It's about building relationships and a good foundation to help people.
Well, and you've probably gone through this, Nick, because there's been situations like with us where we've sold a house, and maybe we were supposed to make this amount of money, and it looks like there's nothing going. Where at the end of the day, we made no money, but you knew it was best for the client because it could affect their family and everything like that. So we made nothing off of it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, because it was just the right thing to do. Yes, it sucks. We would love to make $1. We got bills too.
Yeah.
But there's times that you got to do the right thing. But it always comes back. It may come back a year, 2, 10 years later of like, hey, Jimmy, I'm ready to do this again. Thank you so much for help. Or, hey, I got a rich uncle, aunt, aunt, whatever. They want it. And it's just like, it's amazing when you actually do something like that. It will pay you more than you ever did if you just tried to stick them.
Go back. Referrals.
Yes.
Leads. You don't know, and I say it 1,000 times, you do something in business that helps and benefits, and you don't focus on the dollar,
yes.
You focus on the individual.
And the relationship.
And the relationship, right. And so you do what's in their best interest. When you do that, you don't know who they're going to talk to.
It's amazing.
You don't know.
And bad words always spreads fast.
Oh, like wildfire.
Bad news always spreads fast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Look at the bad reviews. Yeah. It may have 1,000 good reviews, but you're going to go to that one bad one just to see what they said.
Yeah. And so
that's terrible that we do that as a society.
Well,
but that's what we do.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it.
We do. We look at the one, but in retrospect, you're a reasonable person.
You're like, come on.
Listen, you're
that
a business
person was
owner.
Crazy.
It's like going to a restaurant, right? I ain't going to say the name, but just to show you, to prove the point here, right?
I bet I can figure out the restaurant.
No, I bet you can't. If you do, I'll give you $10, man. I went to this restaurant. My wife had a family member come down, took them out to eat. It was in Merritt Island. I'll narrow it down a little bit. But went to the restaurant. It's a funny story. Went to the restaurant, ordered. I liked the place. My baked potato came out cold. The waiter comes up.
That's a bad day. That's a bad day.
Listen, you can't have a cold.
I just did that last night. It wasn't fully cooked. That's a bad day.
Yeah, and it was cold. It wasn't even. Couldn't even melt the butter.
Oh,
right.
So that's a real bad day.
Was that just raw? You just cut it?
I don't.
But anyways, the waiter comes up to the table.
Throw it?
Huh? Well, I'll tell you, it's funny because my wife had to maintain me because hey, I was ready. What's your name, son? Snapcraft, go and pop. They call me Rice Krispie. So the waiter comes up, he puts his arm behind his back, how's everything going? I said, well, it's all right, but I said, my baked potato's cold. He goes, well, I'm sorry to hear that, and walks away.
Walk away?
I said, no, he didn't. Well, my wife's brother was down.
Did you have your football helmet in the car?
No, but if I would have.
That's a story. That's a story. Don't forget it. Ask him. That is definitely.
Call or text. We'll tell you.
It's a great story.
But my wife goes.
That's a pay-per-view story.
My wife goes, I said, no, he just didn't do that. And her brother's cracking up. I'm mad. Now, I'm like, look, what just happened?
I wish there was a live camera. Wouldn't you love to just be live?
Oh, I about lost my mind. Right?
You're like, no, Nick, he didn't. No,
I wanted the manager. My wife's going, no, don't do it, right? Don't do it. And I'm like, nah. And her brother is cracking up, right? So
just making you get hotter too.
I know, right? Right. So then I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. So all right. So he brings it to. I didn't do it. Make my wife happy. Point for all you men out there. Got to make the wife happy. Just calm down.
Happy wife, happy life. Right.
That's right. Until you get home, and then she'll hit you with a frying pan. However, that's another funny story. I'll have to tell you that one later. But so the waiter comes and brings his ticket. I came up with a brilliant idea. Here's what I did. I looked at that ticket and I said, oh, tip. Sorry to hear that.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was my little bit of revenge. And I felt pretty good about it. He'd ease some pain and suffering. But, however, going back to the point, I didn't let that affect a bad review.
No.
For the restaurant. And that's the same thing similar in business.
Because that was a him.
You was a him. It was his stupidity, but he represents. So I've said it before. like in the cleaning business, or any time you have employees, anybody representing your company, it doesn't matter what they do. First of all, good or bad, that doesn't matter. It's you are going to take it. I've had clients tell me when my cleaners messed up, I don't care. It's you. You're such and such company.
Yeah.
It's you. Now deal with it. So, yeah, that's another. If you want to be in business,
You're the punching bag,
you are the punch. It's not
and you're
glamour.
responsible for
Hey.
everybody that wears that name tag.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is hard sometimes because people have stuff going on in their lives.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not hitting on all cylinders.
I'm waiting for a law to be passed where it's legal to really tase your staff. No, I'm just kidding. And
Once a week.
Once a week. That's why I have stock in batteries and smelling salts. Let's be the trend centers. Trend setting in new business and try to figure out how, I think with your help, Jimmy, and we get a few more people on board and we'll have a couple maybe meetings and see how we can really drive up the community, how we can. I know you know a bunch of people in town.
Buddy, I do.
A lot of businesses. You're
good people. Good people.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, like I know you're like me. You love to eat. You go out to eat.
Oh,
I know you got some favorite restaurants. Let's just give them a
my
little shout out.
Yeah, my two favorite in town, and there's more than that, but you know, Kyle Sanders and Kristen Sanders, Shiloh's is probably one of my favorites. Always has been. Even going back to their dad, Lewis Sanders and Teresa's from Lewis's Barbecue Shack.
Oh, really?
They were always just. You want to just talk about like best people ever. Best people. You call them if here I am. I probably this episode. If shit hits the fan,
yeah,
like they're there for you.
Yeah.
You know. And then my next people would probably be the Russell family with BB Rads. Brad was such instrumental when my father passed with me too, because you know I was trying down this Bible road, and you know sometimes it gets a little slack, but Brad was such a I just love the guy, you know. It just and I think if you met him for just a minute or two, you're like, there's something special about him.
Yeah.
And I just love him and his brother Barry. They're just such a great people. But BB Rads and Shiloh's are like, and there's many, many more. Like I love Burger Rob's. I love Sugar Bear. All these great people.
Yeah.
C's Waffle. They're all good.
We got a couple just of Bob's Burgers and and the guy right across the street. What was his name? Ray.
At Paradiso.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ray. He's all about building the community nice.
Oh my God!
And
you need to go to the Leaf Lounge too. That guy there, I forget what the name of his.
Yeah, we met him. I walked in there with Heartland.
Oh, let me tell you, he can cook, man.
He
can cook.
Yeah. I'm a food connoisseur.
Oh, we're getting a lot of good stuff downtown. I'm like so excited. Downtown's never been so alive like it is now. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, we need to build up Titusville a little bit.
We got a great town, Nick. You know.
Again, here's the thing. Let's go back to the directory a second. I can put restaurants on there.
Yes.
How about sponsoring one of our events?
Yes.
How we come to your restaurant and maybe
we're already clients of you.
Yes, right? And we bring more people to you.
Yes, that might not have ever been there.
And not only that, since we're marketing people from around the area, as we get out of the Brevard community, we're going to drive that traffic again to the directory. I'll have on there dining and entertainment.
Why not?
Why not? Put a link to your restaurant on the site.
And it would be fun to even have like the members of Monarch Business give them a little review. Like, what's their favorite dish there?
Yeah,
you know? I
we
mean,
can
it's
come
like
in. Again, it's us building up
each other,
and then we're driving in on social media. That's the trend. That's the thing to go. But that's where we can come in and help promote your business.
Yes.
We're going to get in. Here's the other nice thing. Think about this is every bit of footage, if we come in, you hire us to do a video or whatever we give, whatever we do, whether it's pictures, videos, we're going to give them to you.
Yes. So you have content.
So you have content. You don't have to do it yourself. You become a member.
You got the man behind the camera.
You just met him, right? Keep him busy. We'll come in. Depends on what package you get, and even I will tell you this: I will go out. Even the smaller packages, they're $400 a year. And what's really nice about this, guys, is that anything that's on that website, as far as packages, and we got some other fun things coming up that you don't have to pay for it all at once. So you can do a residual income on your credit card billing. So let's just say you want the $1,200 one or the $600 one or $400 one. Just you divide that by 12. That's what's going to be billed to your monthly
So you're
credit
saying it's
card.
about right around $100 or
Yeah,
more or less, or
yeah, I don't have a calculator on me handy, but you're looking. So like the $400 one, I know is like $33.
like what are you gonna? You could.
What are you going to get? And you're getting all that
You can't
exposure.
even go eat McDonald's for that anymore.
Yeah, I know, for two, right? So that's the sad part about it. When you can spend as much money at McDonald's to go to a nice sit down
Oh,
restaurant, go to the restaurant.
well,
No
and
offense, McDonald's, but
yes, well,
it's
and I hate to
crazy.
say it, like we get hit up, and we love to help the schools and stuff, but a lot of times they're wanting 5 to 1,000, and you're like, my gosh, is there something out there that gets our name out there?
Yeah.
We want to support the community, but is there something out there that we could help support and help us too? And this is
Yeah.
in the budget. Anybody can afford this,
Well, this is where it comes, right?
and it's a good stepping
Yeah.
stone.
Yeah, I think it is. And it's not about I ran into somebody
Yeah,
today.
you're not trying to make a fortune off this,
I'm
Nick.
not. I'm not. It's all a numbers game.
Yes,
So basically anything in life is numbers. The more numbers you run, the better off you are.
obvious.
And
Yes,
and I've always said, yes, we're in business to make money.
we all got bills.
We all got bills. We all got to eat. However, that doesn't give you to me to pillage you because you're
Yeah,
successful,
or whatever.
right? So we'll customize any package for you. We will grow. If we feel that we need to do extra, I'm not going to oversell you. I don't want to undersell you. I just got off the phone and before we started this with a mortgage broker. I said, listen,
And that's a hard market right now.
yeah. I said, listen, I said, he's so excited about my program, but he's up in the air. He might move, but he can work out of state, wherever,
He can work anywhere.
anywhere he can work. So I said, listen, you got a lot going on. He's a good friend of mine. Said, you got a lot going on. I said, don't buy the big package.
Yeah, just
Are you sure? I said, no. Buy the $400 package. Hello. He was ready to buy the 12. I said, don't do it. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Yes, it does, because I care about the people. Buy the $400 one. Let me get you on there. When you get settled, we'll grow you.
and you could always go up,
You can always go up.
but at least that starts you in it and get you. Well, get you.
While you're laying a good foundation, you're
Yes.
not going out to spend money there. So
Well, and I could tell you, like for us, we always did a lot of mailings.
yeah,
And buddy, we got a lot of return, and it's expensive.
yeah. But now cleaning,
And people
it
hate
doesn't
that
work.
stuff.
It doesn't work good for cleaning.
No.
So why get into a campaign that you're going to spend? I mean, I've lost a lot of money. Mike Johnson
We have.
lost it
We have.
in marketing. So this is where the community is going to come in, and we can talk about good marketing strategies. So again, think about it.
Yeah, you've got these videos forever. Forever.
You just edified something, and it just dawned on me is if you're going to market, let's drive this platform. Let's drive it. Let's drive the. If we're truly want to help the communities, and we truly do this, not to
Because we
put
live
any
here.
pressure, we live here and wherever you live, because
Yes.
this thing can grow to wherever we want it to grow to. However, it's a good testimonial. These are our roots. This is where it all started at
Yes.
Biggins Bar, right?
7 and 7s.
Nick's backyard bar and business. But if we think about it, I really do think if we can team up it's all about generating leads. I really do, because nobody has really done it. They're the concept what I'm thinking. By the way, this part, might be top secret. But as we go there, we sit and think about it with a bunch of people that care. We have some core businesses and we grow it. Now, let me ask you, let's just say you didn't know me from
Sure.
Jack, right? All right. If I came to you and I told you, like, now you've been familiar with other marketing companies and all this stuff, and me a little bit as well. But if I came to you and I told you that I'm going to generate leads for you the best way. I want to promote you on my directory. Again, that's the money. That's the engine to the
Yes.
NASCAR, right? So when I market, I'm telling you for the first time now, right? So just imagine this, right? I come to you and I say, "Hey, Jimmy, I'm Nick with Monarch Business Connections." You say, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
So I said, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself. Here's what I got going on. This is what I'm going to do for the community businesses." Came up with this platform where I'm going to come in. I'd like you to be a part of a member, okay, up front. And you can come in at any stage you want. It doesn't matter.
What fits your budget?
Is what fits your budget. What matters is you get on the directory. Wherever you want to go, it's up to you. So you got $400 to $1,200. You pick. But for $33 a month,
It's not even tank of gas.
yeah. You can spend that in 2 drinks at your favorite bar. Okay.
But not right here.
Not right here. So I tell you this, but I tell you this is how I'm marketing for my members. Jimmy, is what I'm going to do is in my marketing campaign that I'm putting together with Spectrum, which will eventually lead to commercials. But right now we're just new, we're just starting up, and we want to be building up the community. All my marketing, what I'm going to do is going to be combined to meet business-minded people. So if I can put myself with these pop-up ads and everything and do a little video clips, and which I'm going to do, but I'm looking for businesses to join as members, but also at the same time, I'm hitting the consumer to come to my directory.
Yeah.
And I can promote your business. What would you say to me?
That sounds pretty dang good.
Would it be worth $33 a month?
You know, I think it would. I think it, even if it's worth the try. I mean, what's that going to hurt?
Yeah. What's 6 months?
Well, it's
Break
worth
out
the
your
try.
calculator. Figure it out. Do the math.
That's not bad.
It's
That's
not bad.
I mean, what type of advertising are you going to get? And we all need things.
Right.
And we all know that, media is where everything is.
Well, guess what, Jimmy? You're a real estate company, true? Obviously, you got
Yes.
Jimmy Mutter's Realty on you. That's a no-brainer. But however, all kidding aside, guess what? Those members that we're going to have can create a warm market for you.
Yes.
Guess what? They all have a house. Or maybe they need a rental. Because now I know you do that.
Yes.
You know.
Do a ton of property management.
Oh.
Yes.
How about commercial properties? Do you manage those too?
Yes.
Yes.
They do it all.
All right. So, Jimmy, guess what? If I'm, which I'll probably be, I can't live above you, Jimmy, all the time. I'm going to need my own spot. But who am I going to come to, Jimmy?
I would hope us.
You know why I'm going to come to you, Jimmy? Because I built up a relationship with you, and I just mentioned I like you, and I'm going to use you. That's what we're going to do, Jimmy.
Well, and I think, going in as like a business that wouldn't know you or anything, that you're going to connect them with all these other people, which are business people in the business doing it.
Yeah.
That otherwise you would have no other reason to go to unless you needed them.
Yeah. And so what do you think we need to do? We need to work the program. We need to start talking. All the members need to be promoting NASCAR.
Yes.
Our race car. And the race car is Monarch Business Connections.
Yes.
And so for sponsorship, to do whatever, host events, do whatever you need to do. Let's just drive it together.
Yes.
And win. Let's get to the winner's circle, man.
Let's get it.
Adios. All right, we're finally done. And I have to go to my football story later. Next episode with Jimmy and Mike.
Part 2.
Part 2. We out.